Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
At 19 years of age, our next guest was ranked 4th in the world of tennis. And while we watched that journey of success in her sport on the sidelines, we also witnessed her father's bad temper. What we didn't know, and we should have known, was how bad it really was. In 2017, she shared the level of abuse she had to endure at the hands of her dad, Jelena Dokic, with a best-selling memoir called Unbreakable. Well, now Jelena Dokic has released a new book called Fearless, Finding the Power to Thrive. And she joins us now. Jelena, hello.
Hi, thank you for having me.
And it's great to talk to you again because last time we spoke, when you had the first book out, Unbreakable, it was like a real sort of, I guess, revelation for you. And now you're coming out through the other side of this with this book.
Yeah, pretty much. Unbreakable obviously was my life story, my biography, my memoir, and something that has changed my life. I literally say that the day that Unbreakable came out is the best day of my life. I was able to just really share my story.
You know, you're very honest in the book about how recovery isn't linear and the fact that you were able to break away from your family, that life can still be hard. You talk about very honestly about the end of a 20-year relationship, about how the trolls on social media and how you're trying to use your skill set to try and still make your way through these hard things.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's not all upwards and positive, and I don't think anything in life is. I discovered that as an athlete, as a tennis player, you don't always win. There are ups and downs. Life is the same, and I think it always kind of will be. You go through ups and downs, and I think it's important to know that, to realise that, to know that it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Why do you think people are so harsh on social media? I'm not on Facebook or any of those things, but I do have Instagram and I read through Twitter. But you do such a great job as a tennis commentator, but you attract a lot of the trolls. Why is that?
I think in general, look, when you're in the public eye, everyone is allowed to have an opinion, and that's okay. I think social media brings something else to it when someone can just write something behind a keyboard. And I don't know very often how people can even think of some of those things, let alone write them. And I always just turn the conversation around and go, well, what if your sister or your daughter or your mother, father, doesn't matter, got something like that.
What you said, though, everyone's allowed to have their opinion. Sure, but they can really keep it to themselves. I think with social media, I think that when people say you're allowed to have your opinion, when I put something out on social media, I'm not asking for an opinion. I'm not even asking for your comment. It's like if we did this radio show, when we do the radio show, we don't have someone saying, well, I don't agree with what you just said then. And if they do, they just yell it out into the ether. And I think that's the real thing about social media.
It is, look, but in a way, are you allowed to write something to someone? Absolutely. Look, do we have a block button? We do, and trust me, I use it as well. But I have often said, look, I am not out here hurting anyone. I am actually trying to do something good with my platform on social media, and on top of that, even sometimes using it as a creative space. Like I love photography, for example. So if I, post some pictures that I find really nice, it's things like that. I should not be judged for that, and nobody else should as well. But I don't think it's as simple as blocking people. We shouldn't have to do that. I'm not hurting anyone here at all. So, look, is it okay? No, it's not. Can we stop every single person in the world from writing something negative? We can't, but that's why I think it's important to call it out. And I've put some of those comments out and posted them and showed people what I get. And it's changed. I actually get apologies from people that have written that to me. So it actually changes.
Have you ever had an apology from your father?
No, I haven't. I haven't. I've tried to reconcile with him at one stage years and years ago, but it's not possible. I think ultimately, no matter what you go through, I think with your family or your parents, you kind of feel like maybe you can get to a stage where things can change and you can have a relationship. But no, I don't. I think when someone isn't even able to say sorry, or when they actually think that they did everything right, and in fact, in his words, he would do it all over again. That's where you draw the line, especially as you get older. You need to get that toxicity out of your life. So, no apology, and that's okay. For me, it really is time to move on, to leave that aside, and I'm actually trying to change generational abuse and the way that it was, and that's my fight now, and that's what I want my legacy to be.
Well, Jelena, you're leaving a great legacy. This book is fantastic. Fearless is out now from all good bookstores. Jelena Dokic, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and thank you. You guys were there for me as well with Unbreakable, and now also love having a chat with you. So thank you so much for
Thank you, Jelena.
Anytime.
You are fearless. You really are, and thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.